Hello everyone and welcome to LikeMinds, two hearts, one mind, one God. I am Julian and I want to thank you for tuning in. As I do believe I have some practical and necessary tools to help engage two hearts through one mind and one God. And as always, if these episodes are being a blessing to you in any way, hey, do me a favor, subscribe to our channel and be sure to click that bell notification. You don't want to miss any episodes. Well, this is it. The final episode of the three-part series, The Love from a Husband. Now, as a brief recap, in episode 1, we defined love in its proper context. We also addressed how love should be communicated from husband to wife, giving biblical references and context. We also addressed what it all entails. Lastly, we addressed the question, is love a one-way street in marriage? In episode 2, we addressed another controversial question. Can love end between spouses? And if so, what is holding the two together? Now, as we wrap up this series, I thought it would be imperative to bring in my lovely wife, my boo, my baby boo, Tanisha, to give her perspective and shed some light on this topic, the love from a husband. I mean, who else will best represent the love from a husband than my own wife? So I'm honored, babe, and I want you just to do you, okay? Do you and let the Lord just use you, okay? So, sweets, I have 3 focal questions I would like to ask you, okay? Now, feel free to elaborate and just answer the question the best way that you feel like question. Now, I'm sweating because I don't know what she may say, so gosh, y'all pray for me. Okay, so number 1, how does a husband's love look like to you? Or what does a husband's love look like to you?
To me, my husband's love looks like consistency and just knowing that he is someone that I can rely on, someone who is supportive and just loving. I feel like knowing that he's a constant and a consistent person is a blessing, and it's definitely it's necessary for a woman to feel like she has that kind of that reliability in her partner. So that's definitely I think that's a big thing.
Does a husband love change in the sense of a gradual thing? As far as, now I know this is contingent on the person, but as far as what love looks like, is it an evolving thing in your
Yeah, I think that the recipient, how the recipient receives that is evolving. So what I feel like the person that's expressing that love is probably doing it the same way, because that's just who they are and that's what they're used to. But the recipient might be more, now more receptive of accepting love in that way, or maybe they're evolving, that type of thing. I won't say that the love is evolving, although I'm sure it grows and
I get, yeah.
There are ebbs and flows and all that type of thing, but I think the recipient's probably more evolving in how they receive and perceive that love.
Okay, that's good. All right, moving on. Number 2, what are some of the challenges you personally experienced in the first 5 years of a marriage? Now, this is a thick, long question, okay? What has developed or has improved in recent years, and how did you individually overcome? So, first part of that question, what are some of the challenges you personally experienced in the first 5 years of our marriage?
Early on in our marriage, the first 5 years of our marriage, I would say I had a lot of expectations of what my husband would be. So, coming from a single woman and having dreams and expectations and, you know, all this, what I thought a marriage looked like and what I expected my husband to be like wasn't necessarily what I walked into. And I think just knowing that what my expectations were not necessarily what God had for me, or, you know, what he desired for me. And so I think I got those expectations just in a different way. And so but it was exactly what I needed. But those expectations were challenging for me because, you know, if you have this ideal in your mind and you're not willing to deviate from that, it's a challenge. And so I had to learn how to put my expectations to the side and learn who I am married to.
So would you say expectations are needed or a tool, in a sense, in a marriage?
I think expectations can be dangerous if you don't communicate those expectations and they're unrealistic.
That's good.
There's a difference between expectations and having standards. Having standards is good.
When adding my notes.
Having expectations is something that you need to communicate with the other person, preferably before you get married, so you're not just walking in.
That's good. That's right.
But you know, having expectations is definitely dangerous if it's not communicated.
That's right. That's good.
Appropriately and realistically.
That's good. Okay. Thanks for sharing that. Oof. All right. Now, you may have touched on this, but what has developed or has improved in recent years, and how did you individually overcome?
So I think it's probably similar, but I'll just give an example of this one. So I would say just the load sharing. So early on in the marriage, I took on a lot, and I felt like it was more carrying burdens more than I should have, and I didn't express that to you and let you know, hey, you know, I need some help. Can you do this or can you do that? Instead, I expected him to just jump in and read my mind.
We can't read minds, fellas.
and take that on. So as we've evolved, matriculated through this marriage, you know, I've learned to not take on the load by myself, and I've learned to express that to you and
she did
let you know, and not in a nagging way, just let you know that what I was doing wasn't working. I couldn't continue to do everything, at least in my mind. I couldn't continue to do everything and not share that burden. I needed to share the load, and so that's what a spouse is for, you know, your partners. And so I've definitely learned that. Now we share the load.
Hallelujah. We do. Number 3, lastly, if there was any advice you would like to share to a young married couple, what would it be? In Tanisha's version.
So definitely just stay willing to learn each other. Know that the person you have married or are marrying will grow. They will evolve. They will, you know, they'll be managing themselves, and so you need to be able to learn with that person who they're becoming, who they are growing into. You know, love them in the valleys whenever you feel like they're not where you want them to be. Love them in the valleys. Love them through their growth. And the same, you know, hopefully they would do that with you as you're growing and evolving. So just continue to keep that in mind, knowing that your spouse will not be the same person. they will grow, and for the better, hopefully, and hopefully you're growing together.
Say that.
Yeah. So that's definitely what I would say.
Okay. Cool. Well, thanks for sharing, babe. You dropped some jewels. I love it. Well, that's all we have for this episode. Hey, look, thanks for watching. Please subscribe to our channel. Be sure to click that bell notification. Until next time, live abundantly. Peace.